How you doing, guys? You know, there's one thing I like is when I ask a question, whether a simple or a complicated question, I like an answer. What I don't like are deceptive answers, and this is the one thing I noticed when I was one of Jehovah's Witnesses. You will never get a straight answer from one of Jehovah's Witnesses, for the reason being, you can't get a straight answer from Watchtower, and so they justify it. I noticed there are two kinds of answers. When you ask, what they seem to think is a high caliber question, I think a question's a question. I notice you'll either get the smokescreen, which is the deceptive answer, when you ask a question about a certain subject and they deviate the answer well over there, totally away from the subject while slightly touching upon what you asked. I noticed that, I think it was 2009, when I had asked about the Knights Templar that used to appear in the old Zion's Watchtower in the upper left-hand corner. I inquired about that. I was kind of concerned about it. I did a video on this some time ago. And when I asked, what I got was a deceptive answer when they said, well, you know, at one time Jehovah's Witnesses used to recognize that Jesus died on the cross. Okay, that's fine, but that's not what I asked. I never did get an answer, and I figured maybe they just don't know what a Knights Templar is. Well, this many years later, it's pretty apparent, yes, they do know what a Knights Templar is, but they didn't want to touch it. If you remember on the JW website, now this goes on to the second type of answer you'll get. When asked, do Jehovah's Witnesses shun? Okay, now, on the rare occasion you do get a yes or no answer from Jehovah's Witnesses or Watchtower, well, you'll get, say, maybe you'll get a direct yes. But then you'll get a complete circle jerk answer that says something totally opposite without actually saying it. When asked if Jehovah's Witnesses shun, they flat out said no. Jehovah's Witnesses don't shun. I think we all know better. But what it did was totally explain, without actually saying yes, that indeed Jehovah's Witnesses do shun. But that question and answer was for the benefit of the people outside who come across that question. And they'll say, oh, well, see, Jehovah's Witnesses don't shun, when in essence, if you read the answer carefully, yes, they do. I mentioned about 2 months ago about Kingdom Hall reviews, and I had been leaving a number of reviews in Florida, New England, New York, Tennessee, and other places. Basically, I like Gilbert's idea on the reviews, is asking questions that Jehovah's Witnesses basically can't answer without exposing themselves. Well, I've updated my reviews since those days, but basically asked questions. And to my surprise, one congregation actually did respond. If you give me a second, guys, so I can punch this up and I will read it to you. There we are, guys. Well, now this was one in Florida, the Palm City, Florida congregation. You can check this one out yourselves. I simply asked, if someone chooses to leave the organization after being baptized, why are they shunned? Why are children who are molested in this organization required to have 2 witnesses of the molestation before anything is done? Why aren't the police notified, basically? Okay, to my surprise, they actually did respond. But like I said, the answer was very deceptive. And it basically goes on to say, sorry you have been misunderstood. No one is ever shunned for choosing to stop attending meetings of Jehovah's Witnesses. Now there's the first deceit right there. That's not what I asked. All people have free will and can choose to attend or not to attend. If anyone decides to leave and live their lives contrary to the Bible, it is their choice. Okay, now see, there is the opposite answer right there without actually saying it. Because I think we know, yes, you do shun. Jehovah's Witnesses also follow the Bible's command to stop associating with people who practice willful sin that the Bible condemns, such as fornicators, adulterers, thieves, molesters, murderers, rapists, all things the Bible forbids. I'm actually surprised they threw molesters in there, because that was one thing they didn't touch on when I asked about the child molestation. So they completely averted that answer, because they had no response to that. Additionally, we are commanded in the Bible to not hide wrongdoing, which we know they do. All who are aware of serious wrongdoing have an obligation to report it, and parents and family have an obligation to protect their children. Okay, there's where they barely touch on it. Now they're leaving it the responsibility of the parents, which is kind of true, but I'm going to go into that in a second. God's law is very clear on this. So we not only have the freedom to report wrongdoing as mentioned, we have an obligation to do so. Feel free to contact the local Kingdom Hall if you would like to know more or would like to discuss the scriptural reference obligations mentioned. Okay, now obviously they don't want to hear from me, but this answer wasn't for my benefit. This basically was for the people that come across this review, who outsiders who basically don't know what's going on inside. But I may take them up on that and give them a call for a future video. But, yeah, that was pretty much it. Now we can see how deceptive that answer was. And I want to say one thing, where they say it's the parent's responsibility. Okay, first of all, yes, it is the parent's responsibility. But why is it when they want to go to the police that they're discouraged not to, or threatened with expulsion if they do? And the fact that the organization sticks their nose so deep into people's lives, why all of a sudden is it just the parent's responsibility? Okay? You involve yourself in every aspect of people's lives, but now you want to wash your hands of this. Okay, well, this has nothing to do with the organization. I mean, if so-and-so did this to so-and-so's child, it's up to them to contact the police. So we all know how deceptive that answer is. Like I said, that was not for my benefit. That was for the benefit of somebody on the outside coming across that. Anyways, guys, like I said, that's the Palm City, Florida congregation, if you want to check it out. One of you's also left a review at the same congregation, I noticed. But anyways, guys, I would love to hear your comments on the subject, and feel free to comment about it. And I want to thank my subscribers for jumping on board. I will be back soon. And if you come across this video, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that little bell. That will notify you that I'm out here. Until I see you next time, guys, you have a good day. I'll see you soon.